3, 2, 1.
I'm going to work through the practice quiz for sections 4.3 to 4.4, just so you can kind of see what's going on with a lot of this stuff. So try to follow along. I may be going pretty quickly. However, you can always pause this and go back and listen to anything that you need to. So make sure you have your practice quiz along there with you. I'm going to be looking at that as I work through these. Some of these I'm just going to write the answers down like the first four. Number one says write an exponential form. What you have is 1 equals log of 10. Well, the base number, you don't see that, but there is a base number of 10, so you would rewrite that as 10 to the first power equals, and then it's log of 10, so equals 10. Likewise with number 2, that's the natural log. That's understood to have a base of e, so that base is e, and then to the fourth power equals x. You don't have to do anything else. All you do is you rewrite that. For number 3, those now are in the exponential form, so we're going to write them as logarithms. So the first one will be log base 3 of 9 equals 2. And then number 4 would be the log base 2. That 2 is the base number, so log base 2 of y equals x. For number 5, it says to evaluate each logarithm. Now, that says log base 4 of 16. So you're trying to figure out 4 to what power is 16? Well, 4 to the second power is 16, so your answer is 2. For number 5, that says the log of 1 over 100. Well, the base there is understood to be 10 since you don't see a base there, so that would be 10 to what power is 1 over 100? Well, 10 to the second power is 100. Therefore, 10 to the negative second power would be 1 over 100. If that's a fraction, then your answer is going to be a negative number there. Number 7, I'm going to rewrite that a little bit, and that's going to be the 5 log base 13. And what I'm going to do is that 169, the cube root of 169 is 169 to the 1/3 power. Okay, so I'm changing the cube root to the 1/3 power. Also, that 169 is actually 13 squared. So what I've got is this 13 squared is 169, and that's all taken to the 1/3 power. So what happens is these two 13s, it's like they cancel out, and then we just go ahead and multiply the 2 and the 1/3, so we have 5 that's left over from here times, and this would give you, if you multiply that out, that gives you 2/3. So I'm taking 5 times 2/3, which is 10/3. Don't forget you just that's 5 over 1. I'm going to multiply straight across. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. So my answer there is 10/3. For number 8, we are going to expand that. Since you are multiplying the x, y, and z when we expand it, we're going to write that as log base b of x plus, when you're multiplying those logs, you are adding their individual logarithms. So plus the log base b of y plus the log base b of z. All right, and that's what it means to expand that. For number 9, that xz is in the square root sign, so that's log base 7. I'm going to write that as the quantity of xz to the 1/2 power over y. Now, what I've mentioned before is anything in the numerator gets added, anything in the denominator gets subtracted. So the x and the y are in the numerator, so I have log base 7 of x to the 1/2, and since this is in parentheses, both of those get taken to the 1/2 power, plus the log base 7 of y to the 1/2, and then the y in the bottom there is being subtracted. So I have minus log base 7 of y to the first. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm sorry, I messed up. This should be a z in case you didn't catch that. If you did catch that, good for you. You are a good person. So let me change that. So that should be log base 7 of z here. Sorry about the mix up there. Now, the last thing is these exponents should not be there. So if there are exponents, you bring those down here. So that would be 1/2 log base 7 of x plus 1/2 log base 7 of z minus log base 7 of y. For number 10, we're going the other way around. Since we're adding those logarithms, you're going to write that as the log of the quantity of x plus 5. And again, we're adding there, so it would be times, and the 2 that's in front of that logarithm of x, that gets brought up as an exponent, so it would be times x squared. So that would be log of the quantity of x plus 5 times x squared. For number 11, sorry, I guess this, okay, sorry. I used to be able to think. That's number 10 back here. This is number 11. I hope I numbered those correctly. Yeah, I did. Okay. Sorry about that. As you were. Back here, I'm going to take, and since we're subtracting those logarithms, I'm going to write that as one big fraction. So this would be the log base 8 of the quantity of x plus 5 to the 1/2 power over y to the 3rd power. The 3 comes from the fact that that is 3 times the log base 8 of y. So the 3 gets brought up as an exponent. Last thing to do here, number 12. I'm going to simply take the log of 20 divided by the log of 7. So I'm going to do that on my calculator here. I'm going log of 20. All right, I'm going to close that out, take that and divide that by the log of 7. And that gives me 1.54. It says round to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to call that 1.54. For number 13, I'm going to take the log of 1/3. You got log, and make sure you're practicing this in your calculator. Log of 1/3 divided by the log of 6, and I get negative 0.61. So negative 0.61. These answers can be negative. Alrighty. As always, I would suggest that you go through and work these out maybe again just to make sure that you're doing everything A-OK. Good luck on your quiz.